Hey guys, here's the look I'm doing. I hope you enjoy, and if you want to see how I did this, then please keep on watching. So I'm starting out with MAC's Prep and Prime Beauty Balm, and I'm using the color Light Plus, and I'm taking about a nickel-sized amount of this on my fingertips and just patting it into my face and blending it in with my fingers. This is what I'm using currently as my primer, and I really like it a lot. So I just apply that all over my face before my foundation. And then for my foundation, I'm using Estee Lauder's Double Wear, and I'm mixing the colors Bone and Rattan. And I am applying that with a MAC 187 brush all over my face just to even out my skin tone. So then after I apply that, I'm going to do something a little different than usual. So I'm taking my Beauty Blender and I'm wetting it. And then I'm going to mix a couple different concealers. So first I'm taking the Prep and Prime pen from MAC in the color Radiant Rose. And that's going to go under my eyes. But then I'm going to take the color Light Boost and highlight down the center of my face. And I'm doing that because you guys know I have a yellow undertone to my skin. So the pink under the eyes is going to help with the darkness. But then the yellow on my face will still highlight my face, but without kind of changing the color or undertone of my foundation, if that makes sense. So I just also applied a little bit of the Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15 on top of the Radiant Rose highlighter pen. And then I am just blending that all in with the Beauty Blender. As you can see, it gives you a super highlighted look and really helps to cover up the dark circles. I really recommend this combination. It works wonders. So then I'm going to take the Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder and apply that under my eyes just so I don't change the under eye concealer color. And for those of you who are darker skin toned, MAC is also coming out with a darker color of those Prep and Prime pens, so you guys will be able to have a color you can use for highlighting under the eyes that won't turn ashy. So then I'm taking the Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the color Light Plus all over my face. This was a limited edition kabuki brush from MAC, but any kind of kabuki brush will work. And then I'm going to go into the eyes. So I'm first starting out with NARS Primer all over my lid, and then I'm going to be doing my eyebrows. So the eyebrows were kind of like one of the focal points for this look. So first I am taking Omega from MAC with a 266 brush, and that is going to go on the front half of my eyebrow. So I started out just with the front part, and then I'm going to pull it just to where my arch is. And then after I've applied that, I'm taking the color 2AM from Sugarpill, and this is going on the end of the brow. And you can really do this with any color by adding kind of your regular brow color to the front or the back, whichever you prefer. It kind of makes it a little less harsh. I mean, obviously purple eyebrows are going to be harsh no matter what, but I mean, it just makes it so it's not, you know, completely blatant purple. So yeah, this color is going on the tail end of the eyebrow. And then I'm going to kind of take this color and blend it on the lower part of the brow. As you can see, it kind of fades along the lower part to the purple. And then I just set that with the e.l.f. brow gel. So now I'm taking Brule from MAC and a MAC 215 brush and patting that all over my eyelid, the inner corners, and up under my brow, just about everywhere to conceal any discolorations. And then I'm going to be taking the color Gesso with an e.l.f. flat brush and applying that as my eyebrow highlight under my eyebrow, obviously. And then after that, I'm going to be taking the color Wedge, which I haven't really used in a while. And I'm using a 224 brush and blending this in my crease. Since the brows are going to be so strong and the lower lash line is going to be so strong, I wanted to make sure that the lid wasn't too strong. So I took the brown first and blended that all the way across the crease. And then I'm taking the tiniest bit of 2AM on the outer corner. And once I've applied that, I'm really going to blend it into the lid color and the crease color. So as you can see, it's sort of purple on the outer corner, but it's not overpoweringly colorful and bright. So that way we're not going too crazy here. So then I'm going to take that same 2AM color and apply that on my lower lash line. This brush is from Sigma, and that's going to go from the outer corner to the inner corner. And then to blend underneath that, I'm going to take the color Stars and Rockets, one of my favorite purples, as you guys know. And I'm blending that right underneath with a MAC 219 brush, just so it is more diffused. And I did take this pretty low under my eye because I wanted a real kind of blown out kind of look. So yeah, just blend that all the way underneath, all the way across the lower lash line. And then I am taking Shadowy Lady, which is just a darker purple. These are the same kind of purples I usually use when I do purple looks. They kind of just go with every purple look just to add darkness or to blend, you know, the Stars and Rockets and Shadowy Lady I use all the time. So then I'm taking this Physicians Formula eyeliner in Ultra Black and lining my top lash line. I did do a wing, but it wasn't as long as I usually do it. You can make this obviously however long as you would like it. And I did kind of show a little snippet of this a little more than I usually do because I actually stayed in frame this time, which usually doesn't happen. I seem to stay in frame when I'm not actually filming an eyeliner tutorial, but then when I am filming a tutorial, it never works out, which is awesome. So then I'm taking the number 34 lashes, applying those, and then taking the MAC mascara. I think this is the Extra Dimension Lash. I think that's what it's called. It'll be down below though. And just applying that on the top and the bottom lashes. And then to finish off the eyes, I am taking the color Digit, which I use in, again, most of my purple looks. It's another one of those colors that works well and kind of just ties a whole look together when you're using purple. Oh, and then I use another color. And then I'm going to be taking Fig 1. I decided to do this because I felt like my brows weren't defined enough. So I'm taking this darker purple just on the lower parts of the eyebrow and kind of just slightly blending it up towards the top of the brow, just so that my eyebrows were more defined. And then we're moving on to the face. So I'm using the Nude on Board bronzer, the Pro Longwear bronzer from MAC, and applying that as my bronzer and as a very soft blended out contour as well. This bronzer is amazing. You guys already know. And then I'm taking this beauty powder in Briar Rose. This was limited edition from like 2 or 3 years ago, but any kind of like pinky purple blush would work for this. I use this also because it's more sheer, so it didn't give me too much of a bold color. It was more like just a splash of light color. So then I'm taking MAC Stripdown pencil and applying that all over my lips. This is one of my new favorite nude lip kind of things. I seem to have one of those every week, but I really love this lip liner. Basically, I just line all around my lips, kind of, as you can see here in a second, I kind of fill in just the edges a little bit around both sides, and then also around the top just a little bit. And then I like to take my finger and really rub it in and blend it in, and it'll kind of just blend it so it looks kind of like very natural, you know what I mean? And then I'm taking the Instant Gold Luster Glass on top, and that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.